Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sam, back with my audio series, Once Memories. I know it's been a long time since my last episode. I just had to do so many other videos lately, almost every day, because of all the content Twice has been releasing. But my friend Jude asked me yesterday why, I've been kind of not posting any episodes of this lately. So shout out to Jude for helping me put the series back on track. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. Today's going to be about Twice Coaster Lane 2. So as I mentioned in the last episode, I think this is a little wild, more wild than the other ones, at least so far. And that's because, this promotion series was actually really short for me and actually Twice as well. But we'll get into that in a bit. And before we start, I just want to say, because the series is just me kind of talking on the microphone, no scripts, just memories, hence the title. I think it's going to be a little convoluted, might be a little confusing, but just have to bear with that. Sorry, that's just how the series works. So yeah, let's get into it. And yeah, so I had been working in Korea for my winter break, resumed school. So my friends were really dumbfounded when I took a trip just for Twice's first concert, right? Like flew back to Korea for the weekend just for a 2-day concert and then went back, school as if nothing happened. But it was Twice's first concert. I really couldn't miss it. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't missed any Korean concerts since then. But yeah, I thought it was really important for me to go. But it was a little bit of a trap because they debuted Knock Knock at the end of the concert, and I really had to go to a fan sign. And luckily, the promotion period for Twice Coaster Lane 2 fell in my spring break. I'd gone, like I said before, to undergrad at UC Davis, and our spring break there, I think, was in like April. So I was shocked to discover that because I changed from a quarter system to a semester system here at Hastings in San Francisco, I ended up having my spring break in early March, which I still thought was, a little crazy. But it fell perfectly in time for a fan sign. But one problem I had multiple problems actually. One was, like I said before, you have to buy the albums earlier before getting into the fan sign. It's like a week-long process. And two, I couldn't really afford to again take a short trip to Korea and stay there and stuff like that. Luckily those two were both resolved, and that just makes this trip kind of wild for me. The first thing, I didn't really have a way to get the albums. I couldn't go to Korea for 2 weeks, right? And the promotion period I think was ending. So, because they had released a song in mid-February, and they didn't promote Twice Coaster Lane 2 for that long. They didn't promote Knock Knock for that long. So it was ending. And I was a little worried, so I picked a fan sign I wanted to go to. But I couldn't go to Korea at that date because I was still in school. Spring break hadn't started yet. Luckily, during my winter break, when I was in Korea, I had gone to the gym. I got a gym membership for a month. So what happened was, on my first day at the gym, signing up, I had a problem with logging in because in a Korean gym, you can either log in with a card or your phone. And I was trying to log in with my phone because I didn't bring my gym card, and it wouldn't work. So I asked the gym guy, who actually didn't speak that much English, but I showed him my phone, and he saw that I had Twice. At the time, I don't know what picture I had, but it was like a full group picture of Twice as my background photo. And this Korean guy, he didn't speak that much English, like I said, but he was like, "Ooh, like you like Twice?" And I was like, "Yeah, uh huh." And then he asked me my bias. I remember he's a Daein bias, and even though communication wasn't really easy between us, and we didn't really meet outside of me going to the gym, I think it was a nice friendship, and he was really cool. When I went to the gym late at night, sometimes after work, he would play Twice music for me, and I thought that was really funny and pretty awesome. So when the announcement came out for the fan sign, I was thinking, who could I ask, to buy these albums for me? And at first I thought about asking coworkers at the company I was working at. Like I said, I was working with a company on and off throughout law school, and I don't know, I just wasn't really that down to ask like my bosses or anything, and other coworkers, I wasn't that close with them, so I was like, I don't know if they'll understand what this is like. But I remember the gym guy, whose name, by the way, was Marco. I was like, he gets it, right? He's a once. Like, he'll understand. So I messaged him, praying, just throwing it out there that he would help me. And surprisingly, he was down. I bought like 50 albums. So it was quite a bit, too much probably at the time to get into a fan sign, but I really wanted to make sure I'd get in. And he had to spot me about $800, which is pretty wild seeing how we weren't that close. Like I said, he was really cool. We became friends pretty quickly, bonded over twice, but I really hadn't known him outside of going to the gym, his workplace. So that was really incredible. And afterwards, we got dinner a couple times, and I even took him to a IU concert in Jeju because he moved there eventually. But yeah, it was kind of a real shot in the dark, that an acquaintance of mine would help me, one, first, like, buy all these albums. And he had delivered to my company, like the place I worked at. So when I ended up going to Korea, albums were there for me to take home and whatnot. But yeah, it was. I was so blown away by how nice this like random stranger that I met at the gym ended up being. You know, Even though we talked to each other every now and then, and we, like I said, bonded over twice. It's just, man, once is really understand, because I didn't really ask anyone else, but I feel like other people in Korea might not understand if I asked them to do something like that for me. And then second off, I wasn't sure how I would be able to afford the trip because I had gone to Korea just for the weekend for the concert just a couple weeks earlier, and I couldn't really afford to just fly and stay in Korea again out of the blue. Luckily, like I said, I was working at this company, and the deal was I would work during my long breaks because I was going to law school, and even though I was hired onto staff, I was kind of more like, I would say, a freelancer because I wasn't really working full time, and I was just working on certain projects for them. So what happened was I had talked to my boss at the company. I was like, hey, I really want to go to this event in Korea. My spring break is this week. I could do something for you guys. And luckily there was a project that was kind of time sensitive. They needed someone to work on it. So I flew to Korea, and the day I landed was the fan sign. So I landed in the morning, got ready, went to the fan sign. And after that day, for the next week, I think it was 7 days straight, I just worked. And I don't know if this is ethical, but I worked 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for that week. So for 70 hours of work, I got a flight ticket to Korea, round trip, and stayed for a week. They got me an Airbnb and everything, and it was dope. So, I mean, I think the pay was kind of worth it, especially since I got to experience the fan sign as well, even though that wasn't really factored into the cost. But, yeah, I mean, it was kind of a last minute ticket. I don't want to, talk about semantics with pricing and stuff now, but it was kind of again, I feel like this is a recurring theme with my series, but a wild coincidence, right? I think it is kind of incredible that, I was able to meet someone at the gym who was a once and nice enough, kind enough to run this pretty burdensome errand for me, do this favor for me, and at the same time have this company that was retaining me on a part-time basis, throughout the year to have me work on a project and fly me out to Korea and allow me to do that at just such short notice. But in the end, I went to the fan sign, and yeah, it was pretty magical how everything just fell into place. That's why I think it's pretty wild. So yeah, I'm sorry if this was kind of a over exaggeration, it was too overhyped or something, but I thought these two things just miraculously working out was kind of wild. And taking a trip to Korea, it was like my third time in Korea in the year, and it was just March. My classmates were kind of blown away, especially since, it was first year in law school and everything. Everyone's just like what are you doing? But, you know, in the end, it all worked out. So, yeah, that's it for the story. I'm sorry, again, if I overhyped it or anything. But the next episode is a long one because it is Signal and it was my summer. So I was there for quite a while. It will be kind of a long story. So I hope you guys tune into that. But for now, that's it. Once again, thanks to Jude. Shout out for getting this series back on track. And I will see you guys next time.